What's up, everybody? Welcome to SimzGamingTime. Me and the boys from Eclectic Avenue have got together to record our first ever podcast. This has always been a dream of mine, to produce my own podcast, and it was fucking amazing, excuse my language, to sit down with the guys and discuss our top 3 best games of all time. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to myself and Eclectic Avenue.
Podcast today, sound Eclectic Avenue with Steve. We'll snip some bits, talking about our favourite 3 games, isn't it? Top 3 games. I'm not bothered who goes first. I don't mind going first.
Cheers, got a nice selection. Go on.
Cool.
You want me to start?
Pick your game.
Alright, I'll probably say to start with Metal Gear Solid.
First one.
The original. First
PS1.
Oh, PS1, yeah.
PS1, sorry, right back.
Go for it. I've got it. I think it's alright.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah. Speaking and stuff.
Yeah.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, yeah. And I think for me, the reason why that is because that's when I started to fall in love with games that are very heavy. And what I mean by that is it's always had that grounded feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Games that are always difficult, but difficult because they're meant to be difficult. That means games meant to be hard.
As in not difficult
like,
because the gameplay is jank.
Yeah, not just like brutal and you feel like you don't get rewarded. You feel like everything's hard, but it's hard for a reason.
Mm-hmm. And the immersion of that game as well.
I think the reason because it's so difficult is probably because there's not been anything like it at that point. There was no game that emphasised you had to be stealthy instead of taking a really hands-on approach with the action. So I think that's why it felt quite different for the time.
It is the OG stealth game.
No, it is. It really is. Game's amazing, man.
I've never played it. I never played it. No, it was always on the demo on it, and it was like,
oh my god,
you've never played it.
I never played the game in full. I had the demo, and that first bit was rock solid.
I'd still say
the first bit is the best thing ever.
Probably some of the best boss battles I've experienced.
The little things coming up. I was like,
oh my god.
Did we just put a film on? That's literally what I thought. I was like,
even the PS1 graphics as well. You're like,
yeah,
sick.
Good for that time.
And it's something that they've maintained throughout the rest of the games.
Yeah, it's a proper.
What year?
Always so
19.
I want to say 1998.
Yeah. And like for having like the mechanical
Matrix. Oh,
that was incredible.
Or you could even they get attracted by your footprints, don't they? In the snow, they go, oh, whose footprints are these? And they start looking.
That legendary exclamation mark, you've been spotted. that noise is like.
The really good thing about that game as well is because it broke the fourth wall, didn't it? I think it's one of the first things to break it. You know when you plug your controller for Psycho Mantis,
you had to put it in the second port,
and then he's like talking to you. He talks about how many times you saved the game, what other games you played, because he scans your memory card and stuff. So it's just crazy.
Kojima fucked up. He's still fucked up now.
Yeah, he's messed up. If that Silent Hills had come out, that'd have been probably the scariest game.
Oh my gosh!
Honestly, if it had actually come out.
Well, look at that.
Oh my gosh! No, the demo for that had me twisted up. You don't understand.
Completely.
I was so scared.
Shook.
I did the demo, but I was saying like
ridiculous.
I was so scared. I can't tell you how scared I was.
You have to plug a mic in and stop talking to
it. You had to sing to it. You had to sing to it. They wanted you. My missus was like, I need you to do it because I can't do it.
It's actually a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a hell of a lot. No,
is that me? Yeah,
I think so.
Well, yeah. What a brilliant.
No, amazing. Probably definitely one of the best games in the PS1.
PS1.
And story as well, for narrative and story. It's it's phenomenal.
3 different endings.
The talking on the phone was too good. You just get the phone.
The nanomachines.
And then there's the
nanomachines, bro.
But you could they had like their own little channels, didn't they? You had to put the channel in. The numbers, didn't you?
Yeah. You had to tune into them.
There's actually a secret nanomachine thing, and it was only on the back of the case. That's the only way you could. I can't remember what it was. There was an ability to do something. It was really important, but the only way you could get the comms is if you look at the back of the case and it tells you how to. It's just weird. It's sick. That's the only way you can get that channel. So it's just sick.
It's one of those games that I've always wanted to play.
Do it.
You can still play it now.
The PS Classic, sorry, it's like £30 now, and the PS Classic just tanked. But it's on it as well. Like friends of mine, like they're playing it now. They
even play on emulator, mate. Play on emulator.
I think I've got 2 and 3 on PS2. because I always heard Snake Eater. Like, look at I know it's
Oof.
not the same game, but the Snake Eater. I've heard that,
I've not completed
and I've seen as well. Like to defeat a boss, if you don't want to fight him, you can just turn time forward in your PlayStation itself, and he just dies.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy dies of old age.
It's crazy.
That's incredible.
It's just so weird.
That's incredible.
It's sick. There's little nuances with the
And then, like,
details.
With Kojima on his own, like to have the balls to go like to number 2 where they just like advertised it as you are going to be, is it Solid Snake, he's the main protagonist. It's about 20 snakes.
Oh yeah, and you don't play as him.
And you don't play as
Till
him.
the end.
Like you get like,
Sorry, the
you get like the first bit and it's like, oh yeah, and all of a sudden you this blonde geese that you've never heard of.
Right.
Like, what is that?
I of course don't remember first time. So what the fuck is this?
Who's this guy?
Snake! No! Playing Devil May Cry now, are we? It's like in Dante. Next shit, but
No, big game.
And when
big
you die as
franchise.
well, it's so dramatic. Snake! Snake! No!
Like they've done loads of great things throughout all them games, and they've all been on different consoles as well, and won on all of those consoles. Probably the latest ones, it got played when it came out, but probably wasn't the.
Phantom Pain.
Which what? Phantom Pain or
Yeah.
Survive? Because there's obviously after Kojima.
It was great.
Both of them were good.
It was
Still
brilliant.
great games.
But I mean, just to say, like the actual immersion.
Forgot about Metal Gear Survive.
They lost it
Forgot
also,
it was a
that's
thing.
what-
So last question though. Now they've split Kojima and Konami. Is Metal Gear dead after Survive?
Yeah.
Is
it dead?
No, it won't be dead. They'll make more games.
Or-
It won't be
Yeah,
Kojima.
Or
There's no way.
is the company who remade Shadow Colossus is Blue something? Are they going to remake it? Because they're remaking a game at the moment.
What, remaking?
Is it going to
what,
be Metal Gear
MGS?
Solid?
What? They've already done a remake though. Did
Yeah,
Twin
but,
Snakes, didn't they?
No, but like, have you ever seen Shadow Colossus remake original?
Yeah.
They take it from the ground up and
I've
make
seen
it
it.
absolutely
It's
incredible.
beautiful.
My missus played it for 4K.
Most phenomenal
You're
thing.
playing the game on my telly. My game do a lot half as good as that, and that's 20 years old, like technically. But is it dead? Is it dead?
Yeah.
Do you think?
100%. What? They're
It's
not.
dead as far as like what it is. Like they'll make other things spin-offs because it's a valuable game, but
Money in it.
like, they won't do it the same. But yeah, it's a good time.
Cool.
It's a good time.
Yeah, should we move into the next game?
Yeah.
Hey, like,
The entire time.
I'm gonna go with GTA 5 for modern.
Not best game. One of your favourite games.
One of the favourites, yeah. Like from start to finish.
Is that for the gameplay reasons, or do you think
gameplay,
story
yeah,
as well?
but
Because I definitely personally, I don't think it's one of the best GTA stories that's been told. But I think
the San Andreas ones, obviously, you go back. But I mean, as a full round game,
oh, it's incredible.
like everything they actually did as well. But no, before
Story was really good.
Four's story,
was good.
Four's story was just a little bit like dull and a little bit thingy, man.
I think the story for is better.
It's
I think
a- no,
it's
it's
one of
a
the
more-
better.
I think the acting immersive and stuff like maybe in some places.
It
But
wasn't-
I think the differences of the three characters that you've got
Well, I think if you
and their overlapping stories. Like,
it's
I
first
just felt
as well,
like,
it's the first
I felt
thing
like I was absolutely
Yeah, to do
a
it like
boss.
that.
No, it was
In
cool.
GTA 5, I felt like I was just a boss. Like I was a bad man in that game. Like I wasn't always a bad man, but I was just I felt like I could do anything and I could make anything happen in that game.
Each protagonist
It was great.
were very different from each other.
Yeah, they were all
that's
so
what-
different,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
way you could act and be with each of them, and the story. It was just great how their different things panned
I
out.
think they had to do that though. I think if they didn't have a convincing way to make someone be crazy or anything like that, so I guess it's easier to use three different characters to show those different
Yeah,
personality
yeah.
traits.
Well,
rather
we
than-
say easier, but
well,
it's a lot of data. It's a lot of like,
yeah. I mean, like
Yeah.
from a storytelling point of view.
yeah. But it's great what they do with games now. Like obviously Rockstar down to the T anyway. They make great games, but
Rockstar just they don't worry, do they? They just make a game.
make a game every 5
If
years.
it's not ready, if it's not ready, if it's not ready, it's not going out.
What's the worst game Rockstar made? People probably say Max Payne 3. Probably.
Take Max.
I think it's sick with people. I think Max Payne 3 is sick. A lot of people would just be like, the people game is sick.
This is what I was saying to the day. Was like about table tennis. I was like, I mashed all table tennis on 360, mate.
360 release game.
Like,
Wasn't it?
what was it? Yeah, it was a click. What are you talking about? Sick.
That was good.
But then yeah, but like obviously, the GTA series for me, 4 was just kind of just the gameplay let 4 down. That's
It was
what
sluggish, wasn't it? It was very
everything
sluggish.
about it
At the
was just
time-
so like clunky.
I think at the time you could see past it, but coming back to it now, it feels so slow, and the cars drive
car
like
driving
tanks.
is the worst thing ever.
The graphics are grey and muddy. It's a
Yeah,
horrible looking
so
game. Like,
dull.
it's horrible.
I thought the kind of muddy and disgusting graphics kind of supported that kind of idea that Nico is having that realization that America's
America's-
trash.
Yeah.
It's like a dream, and everything's just grey and muddy and disgusting, and the cars are slow and you can't turn. It is a bit dead to play, but I think it gets the point of the game across a bit.
There's moments in the game though that are incredible.
It's still great
it was-
games.
Yeah,
It's still a great game.
But in number 4, I mean, your pick is number 5. Number
Yeah.
4, the number 5 wouldn't be what it is now because of number 4, simply because of the bank job. And like that bank job made GTA 5 really.
It was one of
Everyone
the
loved that
missions,
heist.
yeah.
The big one! The big one! They were talking about it for the cutscenes as well. It's so sick the way they build it up. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut your character.
No, it's fine. But yeah, like I don't know. But like you say, it's all grey and muddy. But at the time, it was the greatest looking thing ever.
Yeah.
On that
No,
PS3.
yeah. No, I get that.
And everyone loved it.
But
I think
from San Andreas, they didn't quite hit the nail on the head.
I think
it's impossible.
if GTA 5 came out after San Andreas, people would have gone flipping hell. What is going off?
Yeah.
People would have. They'd have gone, whoa, we're in a whole new thing. But they just didn't really like it. It was still a great game. It just wasn't as good as 5. It wasn't as good as San Andreas for the time and the elements that it had.
San Andreas is still the greatest game of all time. I think.
Definitely.
San Andreas for the elements it had in it.
For
The elements, that was what made it great. You could gain weight,
game
you could get
weight,
faster,
go
you
to the
could be
gym.
strong as hell.
that was
Yeah.
You
incredible.
could do all sorts of little stuff, and it was just like people overlook that.
Only GTA to have 2-player as well. 2-player split screen. Not split screen, but local.
Oh yeah.
Only GTA, isn't it?
Which one? GTA.
San Andreas.
San Andreas. I remember, yeah, we did it
You
late.
can
'cause-
do 2 jetpacks on the screen, man, and no one can do anything. You're just going like this, spinning around like, what's going on? Crazy. No, it was crazy good. But yeah, okay. GTA. I feel like we talked about all the other GTAs more.
No,
than
yeah,
we've actually spoken about GTA.
GTA 5, I think.
GTA 5 is every other GTA.
That's what I mean.
Do
It
you know what I mean?
encapsulated every single one.
That was rapid.
It really did. It pulled
I wish I
every
could
single.
My favourite game is not really a game, it's a series. SmackDown 1.
Yeah.
I remember playing it. I played it with you. Like first time.
Yeah.
Wrestling. You got me into wrestling. I'm still going strong wrestling wise.
I can't watch wrestling.
Watching it weekly. Nothing better than big sweaty men. Right?
No.
Best
I
wrestling
can't watch
games.
it.
Or on the N64, don't have.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
exactly.
Well,
They're all the better games, though.
No, it's what it is. You know what it is? No, like the actual wrestling games nowadays are alright. It's just all of the superstars I couldn't give 2 monkeys about.
It's just not the same.
Like I'm just like,
Where's The Rock? Oh, he's not in it.
it's all this. Of course he's in it. What I just mean,
It's Legends.
like, name me a few. Name me
the
some
new
of the
one?
actual wrestlers now.
I know. John
Like,
Cena. I can name more.
No, not like John Cena.
Alright.
About for a bit. I'm talking about who were the main
He watches
boys.
wrestling.
Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles.
I don't know any of them, yeah, you're right.
Carry on.
Name big boys. Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre,
Is CM Punk
Finn
still
Balor, CM Punk.
Why have they all just got names, ladies and gentlemen? They're all just, you go for a phone book and then you get the same thing back. They're all just names. It's not like The Undertaker. It's not like, you don't have these guys anymore.
But no, like Vince McMahon is on crack cocaine. Like that's the only thing. Like,
Yeah, what about what he's doing in his spare time? What about what's happening in the arenas, mate? And there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on.
No, I agree. It's
Anybody
trash,
can
but-
beat anybody can do anything. But the games, back to that, that's what it's about.
SmackDown 1. Like,
SmackDown, they was
SmackDown 1 were like.
the ones on the PS1 were really good, and I think
They were
the PS2 ones took it to the next level.
Although I have said you were like you were around my house like last year, I can't remember when, but we played like a few Dreamcast games, Dreamcast
that
wrestling
wrestling
games.
was decent, man.
WWF Royal
Do you know,
Rumble.
wait, no, because sorry,
I was in
Royal Rumble.
we played one of them, and I remember we paused and then just kind of slowly turned off the Dreamcast, and we were just depressed for like 10 minutes because I will say a couple of them, including the PS1 ones, they haven't aged well.
No, I bet they haven't.
No,
I
of course
bet
they
they
haven't.
haven't.
And they're the greatest thing. The sluggish punches.
Yeah, honestly, you press a button and maybe 10 minutes later they'll throw a punch. It's just not good. Do you know what I mean? It was the shit back then.
The grapple holders and stuff.
Yeah,
it was gaming. It was gaming. That's what I mean. You just gotta go.
Timing's got to be on.
That's what I'm talking about.
You gotta read your opponent an hour ahead.
That is gaming, mate.
with like, because I think we were talking about WFS 2 is very sluggish. You press B or whatever, and it's like, and then like it was like more like a Tekken. It was like Tekken combos and stuff. So you'd be like, oh. So your character would be like. And then B, and then all of a sudden you'd moved it before. And all of a sudden you just do this fucking body slam that just wasn't worth you. Up, down, B and let's try
Whatever it was.
And then obviously with the Smackdown, it just got a bit more faster and a lot more arcadey. So it was like circle up with your body slam, and then L1 to do the special. And I don't know, it's just the greatest thing of all time, man.
I literally made factions on that.
I think the Create Your Superstar mode was really underrated as well. The later you get on it. I think it was in SmackDown's versus Raw.
It's always been their creative character, isn't it?
It's always been.
No, not the creative, but you can do a career in it, and you can actually sign to either SmackDown or Raw.
So it was like
you can be a general manager, I think.
Shut Your Mouth was like when the brand split happened. It was like there was SmackDown, Raw, and SmackDown UK, and then you had the season mode was you'd start how it would. At the time, it was Vince McMahon and Ric Flair. Vince owned SmackDown. Ric Flair.
Shane McMahon, wasn't it as well?
No, because the original, the OG brand split was Ric Flair came out of nowhere and was like, I now own all for WWE.
Such a dick.
And I never heard of Ric Flair. This not point.
What that shit?
My uncle's like,
This is when if you can have a name, it best be something like Ric Flair. You get me?
Kurt Angle.
Doing bits about AJ Styles. Suck out, bro. You don't poke in the eyes. Listen, mans, bruv, these be mans. What's Rey Mysterio? Goldust! Goldust! Get me! Goldust, man! I used to love that shit! Goldust was an old school legend. He used to like do loads of the what's it called?
He's still knocking about.
Goldust like did loads of the arrangements for the fights and stuff. Like he's an old school G. He's like one of them background guys. Just like Goldust and G, bro. You talk about Sable.
The golden gimbal.
Sable was the team.
Yeah, better.
Yeah.
I know what you reminded me of. I don't know, you're like pressing up and down. You just reminded me of a Mortal Kombat finisher. You don't quite get your fatality, so you just see your opponent goes. That's it. Your head down to come.
Right, finish him. G-Bog.
Paul.
If you miss it, somehow the loser turns into the winner.
Down, left, right, X. That's not it.
That's not it. Yeah, so SmackDowns they were back.
Oh yeah, they were just good for family. Like you come round, I come round. Like
no,
they were just easy to put.
Fit of 4 ways. It's just it's just the memories, isn't it? Like the graphically they've obviously got 1,000 times better, but the original SmackDown, the entrance was a video, and all of a sudden the characters just come in the middle.
It was really
This is sick.
Muffled sound as well for me.
The sound was awful.
I mean, it had a charm though.
It was quality.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
It was mechanical.
It's a charm.
It was a mechanical charm.
Yes.
Very mechanical sound.
But at the time, the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, when it came out, it was like, what is going on?
I remember
Can you guys get any closer, sorry?
Me or
Closer?
Just
I remember just bring it. SmackDown Shut Your Mouth had just come out, right, and I got my dates all mixed up. So I just finished school, remember time. And I just walked down. I walked into game, and it was there, and they just wouldn't sell it to me. I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, I went over. I was like, Mum, Grandma, I need to buy this game. My mum was like, I'm not going. I was like, Grandma's like, alright, I'll go with you. I was like, cool. Got there, got into town. Poor old 60-year-old woman in a wheelchair, dragging her just to buy me a game, and then we're on the way back, and there's a right nasty bend. And I'm there buzzing on my tits. I got the instruction manual. Instructions on the bus, smelling it. Yeah. I'm just reading it. I'm so excited. Honestly, Grandma just slides across the bus. That's my grandma. Look, I'm gonna chill out. I just
I'm watching Grand just
in a wheelchair. Just
slides.
I'm there this is the oh shit. Oh, but no, there's so many fucking. Anyway, SmackDown, the SmackDown series. Let's say.
I think she next Tess. The mystery man off the camera.
It's a bit of an obvious one for like greatest games of all time list, but one that really sticks on memory's got me is Shadow of the Colossus. It just sort of sits in there. I feel like it hit me at a time in my life where, you know, like kind of in those late-ish teenage years where you started to mature a little bit, and something like that comes out that's so different to all the other games that you played before that are about, like, you know, mass violence and like the glorification of it, just swashing down loads of enemies. You know, this one game comes out and it's just like this, like, it's really slow. It's really ponderous. It's really thoughtful. It leaves you thinking, like, on these long solitary rides, like, am I the baddie? So are we the baddies? So it just stuck in my mind because of that. Really, I felt like there haven't really been that many games like it. But you could say that it's inspired the sort of latest wave of emo-ish indie titles.
No, 100%. Like those, like Titan Souls, which is like a direct thing where you're just against all low bosses and it's one hit kill, so it's like different. And I think was it 13 enemies? There's 13 colossi.
13 colossi, and
so
there's no other bad guys.
No,
it's literally you go, but you do that colossus, come back, talk about your feelings, and then go another way. But then the view, obviously, back in the day, the views weren't that great, were they? It was nice, and
it's a soundtrack, innit, for PS2,
and it was just empty. Like
I think it was the art style.
Have you all played it? I've never played it, but my partner, she played it not long ago with the all 4K graphics, and I was in awe with it.
I've heard it's meant to be.
We got a big 4K telly, and I was. What am I watching? Like?
Yeah, with the design for like a Colossi.
Yeah,
it's PS2
game remastered of the PS4. And yeah, like you said, like watching it, and then obviously I knew the ending because I watched so many YouTube videos, and the ending is like fuck.
I mean, it's just sad. It's just sad.
I've not completed, so I don't know if I won the endings for yet, but I want to play it one day. But I feel like it's definitely one of those games artistically that will, even on PS2, still stand the test of time. You can still play it.
Still does, yeah.
And musically as well, I think the score is still meant to be. It's ridiculous. It's so epic. So good. I think I definitely want to play it. I need to play it.
It's definitely like part of like PS2 and video game canon now.
Oh, 100%.
Like, whenever people draw us the old argument of video games are like Shadow of the Colossus is like the first card they draw. Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh fuck.
Good move.
I play Shadow.
Yeah, definitely. I know to have a look at it. Definitely.
Cool.
I was gonna say something.
Have you ever played The Last Guardian, before?
My partner has. I watch a lot of games as well as I get to play a lot of games.
Cool.
Like
Being
in a relationship with a gamer, like if you have two tellies, it's the greatest thing ever.
There you go.
One telly is the biggest burden in your life, or one PlayStation.
Unless you got a Switch. And even then, unless you want to play, one PlayStation.
Yeah, you demoted. Fuck that.
I had an Xbox 360. She had the one. She had the PS4, and I was just like,
did you hate yourself at that point?
I was out there playing FIFA because the only thing good that was good thing on it, FIFA 14 at the time, and she was there playing. I forgot what she was playing. She was playing some crazy games.
Wasn't what Uncharted 4 or something like that.
I'm just looking at him like, could I play it? And then she's like, yeah, no.
Share.
Like,
Share. Is it?
It's not bad. And then she
Years ago.
was it? She bought me one. She bought me a PS4. I had to play with it.
Oh.
Yeah, man. She was like, we need to go pick this parcel. I didn't drive at the time either, so like going to up the road to the shop is the longest walk.
Were you cursing as well? Why you got me out here getting this fucking
parcel? She's like, it's for the kids, man. And I was like, fuck, man. And then she made me carry it all the way home as well. And I was like, so I got in, opened the door, took it upstairs, put it in the cupboard or whatever. She's like, are you gonna open it? I'm like, no, it's a fucking toy. She's like, look, just go and open it. And open it, PlayStation. I was like, oh my god. And The Witcher came out like a day later.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. That's that noise, man. Oh.
If The Witcher doesn't get a shout out and it's lit, you're
next.
Well, I can't. It's not gonna be Witcher. I'm not completed, so I can't say that.
Don't worry about it. I got your back.
I need to play it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's me.
Sorry, are you finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Bioshock.
Oh,
big shout! Big shout!
Sick game, mate. Like
shout out
easily one of the best FPSs I've ever played. It should be up there. Like I think for the time it came out, what was it, like 2007? There was nothing like it on the market. Completely new, interesting idea and did something really refreshing with a first-person formula that had been felt the same for a very long time. It's just war shooters everywhere. Set it underground.
The setting is
the
setting is
the bottom of the ocean.
Is the main character.
But like they do a good job of. Doesn't always. Well, you always feel like you're under at the bottom of the ocean, which is the best part about it. But you don't see outside. You just have little clues like there's like burst pipes, and sometimes like you see water traipsing from there. But I just think what that game did for gameplay as well as story at the time, it was ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. I think it had a bigger impact than we think.
What make of it?
2K.
2K.
2K,
mate. 3 bits now.
Ridiculous, man. Have you played it? Everyone needs to play that game. Everyone needs to complete that game.
It must have done like so much for games as a medium, like the way it sort of takes all these inspirations like Art Deco, architecture, and like build this entire underwater city out of it.
And loads of games have tried it now as well.
Yeah, totally tried for that sort of similar theme. And the way that it took that like actual philosophical ideas like objectivism and real life authors like Ayn Rand, and then like criticised their ideas for a video game. Like no one's ever really done that. Never mind like a mass market game to like criticise like high-minded ideas.
1950s, 1960s?
When is it? It's after World War II, and it sort of follows that objectivist idea that everyone should just pursue their own interests and give no cares to anyone else, and like the opposite of altruism. Because it's like that really good speech at the start, like what happens to the sweat of a man's brow. Give it to me, says the Pope. Give it to everyone, says the communist. Give it to the government, says the American. So it's just sort of a criticism of all of those ideas, and it just works so well. It's just a piece of art history.
This thing's amazing, man. Like the second one was okay, but I think the first one really nailed it. I mean, first one's the best, though, isn't it? I don't think you could ever come.
This seems to be the case, but I've met like Bioshock fans that say, "Oh, it just gets better," and then when Infinite came out, they're like, "This is the best game ever."
It was incredible. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't good. It wasn't as good as number one. Yeah. It was never as good as number one. But number 2 was good. They were all good. Like the gameplay was good.
None of the games are bad.
Played well. That's the thing. And it was smooth, and it was action packed, and it was the stories. Every story was good.
Yeah.
And then the first one, it was just that. Obviously, the are we all finished it?
Yeah.
I've only played number 1 and a bit of Infinite.
Was it Would You? No.
Would You Kindly?
Would You Kindly? Yeah.
Would You Kindly? It's like a sleeper agent type thing. But it's really cool, man.
Another good example of fourth wall breaking. Like questioning why players follow the instructions that they do. It's one of those ones that gets you on like the weird, scary, thinky level.
Just that like, look at this TV and just turn it off.
I'm the guy outside.
No, I need to do something
like this.
That's enough video games for me.
In terms of like gameplay as well, like it's very. There's loads of positive feedback loops. So you get the big daddies, you beat the big daddies, you get the little sisters, you then get more powers, you experiment with those powers, and then there's the camera as well that plays a part in it, where you can take pictures of the different splices. And the more you do that, the more buffs or debuffs you get against them or for them, as well as getting other abilities that you can only get from certain people. So there's side bits that you don't even have to do, like take pictures of those in the turrets and all those things.
You can shoot bees at hands.
And you can shoot bees at hands and fireballs. But you can click fire. That's crazy.
We should have led with that.
You should have led with that. You know what I mean? Talk about gameplay. You get the bees.
There's only one negative about the whole game. Is that fucking noise. That. The things that fly around or something. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was the most annoying thing in the world.
The alarm sound as well. The alarm sound's kicking off.
Shut the fuck up.
It was bad. It was such a good game. I think you have to leave. No, that's all that matters.
Did you finish Infinite?
Yeah.
What do you think separated Bioshock 1 and Infinite? Like, which one do you think better? Why?
Well, so again,
Bioshock 1 and Bioshock Infinite. What was sort of the difference between the two? Which one's better? Why is it better?
Bioshock 1's universe made more sense.
Yeah.
That's just it. I think that's the main point for me. It actually made sense why they had plasmids, how they came about. It made sense within the universe why they wanted to develop the plasmids, because there was a civil war going on between Fontaine and Andrew Ryan, and that ended up in splices happening because they were trying to gene splice themselves and just made themselves stronger for that because of that civil war. Whereas in Infinite, it's just
you don't make sense in a world of like Christian Puritan.
No,
do they? Like,
Christian Puritan, all of
these guys doing all these drugs. Why can these Christians shoot bees?
Is it just in there?
Not prove that.
I liked it. I liked it, but once you see past that, you're kind of like, okay, there's not really a reason for this mechanically to be in there. It's just because it's cool and because it's a Bioshock game. We're expected to have plasmids in it now. Yeah, that's what I'd say. What was you going to say about this? Sorry, Steve. I've lost my beard. I've lost me.
Down here.
My bloody. There's a lot of down ears.
That to the left down here.
To the left, down here.
The other left.
All right.
Down, underneath. There we go. I don't know. At number 3, for me, you give me a good. You give me a good. Is it protagonist? Protagonist main character, is it?
Yeah. Booker.
The girl, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Okay.
Like she was good. Like
She was cool.
As long as they don't die and make your life harder.
I know what you mean.
They are good. They're a good thing to
For
have
an
in the
escort
game.
mission, it wasn't that bad, was
Yeah.
it? Like, there's worse
And
escort
obviously
missions.
the ending was like fucking hell. Didn't make sense. But,
It's like a multiverse, isn't it? Like, there's always a lighthouse and there's always... Yeah, it's weird. But anyway.
and obviously the gameplay was faster. A bit of a risk on their part with being in the sky and with all the skyhawks.
I feel like they just needed
But it was a lot more brutal as well.
I just feel like they're like, well, we've made the first one, it was undersea, it was really cool, right, we shouldn't do another one, what should we do? We've already done underwater, I'll just put it in the sky. I liked it, but maybe I'm being a bit harsh in the game. Even maybe space would have been cooler, I don't know.
I liked it.
Space would have been sick.
And then the big I don't know what they're called now, the Eagles. The Eagles is crazy.
The Eagle. Oh yeah, that was cool. The boss. Yeah. No, it was cool. That was cool.
Before we go to the next one, then, do you think there'll be another one?
I think there could be another one. I don't think they didn't really need to be in a rush to make another
One
one.
of the Bioshock.
Yeah.
Didn't the studio downsize
Dissolve.
after or dissolve
Yeah, I heard
or
something, something like
after
that.
Infinite came out?
Was it 2K Australia or something like that? I can't remember which one.
I don't know.
Huh? Well, it's worth having a look. We'll Google it in a second.
An impact was Uncharted, I guess.
First one?
You kind of mentioned it. Well, just whatever kicked off the series, I suppose. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was in a period, so this was like, what, 2000 and... I think the first one was 2008. And it was in a period where... I remember I I played Resistance, cool. I played maybe Beijing 2008 or something. I remember I played that on Harry. And I was in this weird period where I was just like, okay, having a PS3 is cool, but this console definitely isn't being pushed in any sort of way.
PS3 struggle.
Good enough to have
Right in the beginning, and I was just like, this is cool, I'll buy this game at this weekend, I'll play it. It's just like, this is cool. And I remember, I didn't read anything, I didn't see any kind of video review for Uncharted, I just saw it, and I went to buy it. I don't know why, I'll never forget it. I just went to town and I got it, I was like, this looks cool, let's do it, why not? And that was it, I was just absolutely hooked. It was like, despite how seemingly predictable Uncharted is as a gamer, do you know what I mean? Everything's just so cliche, which is what I kind of like. It's like a charm. The graphics were fantastic. I felt in control of my character, which I think is something that's so heavily overlooked in video games. The shooting was fun, witty characters, just well written,
interactive.
It was just fantastic, and even the story was incredibly predictable, and I knew that. Even with the first one, not even counting the second and third, it was just fantastic.
Yeah, but it's like
I don't think it tried to shy away from that. Though.
It's got
that's what I mean. That was part of the charm. It just left a massive impact.
it's got a bit of that broken sword sort of
Sure.
Charm.
little charm and funniness about it. You're like, you two are both quite wet, but actually I'm in it.
That's always about that. No more about
Sully time.
more about it.
it. Young Sully. Sullivan's a bad man.
Just left a massive impact, and then it made for a very good trilogy. I'm not going to say perfect, but
Quadrilogy.
I think Uncharted's probably single-handedly saved the PlayStation 3.
it must have.
I think Sony was like, we need a Tomb Raider. But Tomb Raider's too dry.
Yeah.
We need something like a James Bond type.
We need Tomb Raider with a cock.
Do you know what she needs? Some less square tip.
Haircut and a dick.
Just trim her hair. Add an Adam's apple. But might as well just put a cock in there. And a dick.
Could do with a 5 o'clock.
Like you said, I think it turned that like you said, the PS3 was dying.
I got it. I got Resistance, and I played Assassin's Creed 1.
It just felt like it needed.
And then I was just like, what else am I gonna play right now?
I'm not.
There was nothing.
Assassin's Creed.
What was that one where you're driving around the massive like monster trucks and stuff?
Exactly, yeah.
Motorstorm.
Motorstorm,
That was like it.
hurry up on the games. Like I can't play this too much.
Seriously. And that game was only one player, right?
The first one was, yeah.
Gotta take it into
That's great. It was a release title, and it's a one-player game. Yeah, that's.
It looked great though.
What the game? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like shout out to the original PS3 console, like the big.
Shout out to the 60 gig. I love you. Please find me. Please. I miss you.
I had the OG one. I don't know why I gave it.
50 USB ports, 20 SD card slots. It was so good.
So nice. It's so shiny.
Had the flat man.
Oh,
the flat.
And it was backwards compatibility as well.
PS2.
And then it's
everything.
I sold it for like £60.
Well,
one for each gigabyte. What's wrong with you?
Anyway.
I don't know what to do.
But no,
they were sorry. I'm sorry. I think they were struggling, and then Uncharted saved it. I think Uncharted was, and then they've slowly now they've added. They think, oh, these first parties are actually helping us.
Yeah.
Now the first party they're killing it.
Seriously, first ever game to have trophy support.
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Yeah,
I think
first ever game. To have a trophy.
And then they all took it. My first memory.
Ruined my life.
My first memory of Uncharted was played it with. Is it Spud?
Spud, yeah.
And I was just watching it, and then I met my partner, and we were like, should we play one? And we played one together, we played two together, we played three together, we played four together.
Yeah.
That's a big relationship bit for me and my missus. We
Okay,
played
nice.
each one.
No, Uncharted 2.
We played all on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah, Crushing. I like
And number
it.
4, fuck number 4, crush him, because we got to the bit of the pirate ship, and he just couldn't do it.
Okay, that was not easy.
Just couldn't fucking do it anymore. And it's still sore to this day. Yeah, because I just went fuck it. Fuck it, yeah, all the way down. Yeah, fuck that. I mean, if I'm not playing for trophies, I'm gonna kill them all. I ain't give a fuck. Every day, well, should we try it? Yeah.
Should we bang a light on?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Jeez. Yeah, no. Number
It
4
happens.
was no joke.
You're surprised at how like one minute it's bright as low, and then also it's dark with dogs full.
Thank you, bro.
It's true.
Whoa.
But yeah, no, just Uncharted just left a very big impact. I feel like that was just the game that I needed at the perfect time. It was like my saviour.
Every PS3 owner needed that because it really gave them a
of
reason to actually own it. And then Little Big Planet, I think, followed. The people and the kids were like, "Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Let's do it for the rest too."
No, Little Big Planet's bang.
What's your next?
Cheers.
Dragon's Dogma.
Oh,
Okay.
I had to whip out
I read that.
Dragon's Dogma. Yes.
Yeah, you
I had to
satisfying
get
the
there.
weebs.
That's right. Yes, mate.
What console?
Has that
360, I guess.
360, mate.
Has that just
360.
been released
On the Switch.
Oh, wait, is that the same game?
Listen,
Listen, it is the greatest game. I think that's what made me fall in love with playing D&D games. Fantasy side, like that sort of games. The choice in character, the way you get to change all your equipment, the pawns, your affinity, the NPCs. The game's just amazing. It's just beautiful. Like. And then that on top of that, the story in it alone is amazing. That's enough to keep you like encapsulated in the game. But then the fighting is so smooth. It's unreal.
I definitely think at the time it's one of the better action RPGs or RPGs for combat wise and for gameplay mechanics wise. It's really quite advanced. Like we were talking about the day and night system before, where you have to take this lantern out with your oil. If you don't, it's pitch black in the game. It's not like video games where you can see stuff like that. You can't see
Pokemon Red
in the cave.
In the cave.
Yeah, it's literally like that.
Like, you can't see shit.
But you can't hear yourself walk into rocks
when you're fighting with your pawns and stuff like that. And obviously, depending on whether you have like a mage or a warrior or an archer or so on and so forth. When you get to certain levels, it moves up to like mystic, knight.
Yeah, you can diversify what they
do
build
into different branches and trees. And when you get to that point there, you can start doing mad stuff, bro. There will be like a dragon come flying out, but one of your brethren will be there like, Commander, jump on my shield. And we're sitting there, you run up, just
grab onto the beast.
Grab onto
it's
it.
So good.
And you have like a stamina bar as well, so you can hold on and you're trying to like...
Kind of like Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it's amazing, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, as well.
Is it turn-based?
No, it's action RPG.
It's not Tomb
It's very
I remember watching Reese play that game. It's not Tomb
The combat's quite flashy as well, isn't it? It's not like Skyrim where
it's something that always stood out. Yeah,
very flashy.
That was the incentive to kind of play the game for me. It was incredibly entertaining. I'm not gonna
So
lie.
good.
Yeah.
And like again, mounting the monsters is still one of the most satisfying things to do in a game. I feel like when you bounce off someone's shield, like say,
Yeah, mounting it and actually.
Is it that good? Yeah.
It's
Honestly,
good,
the
man.
game's sensational.
Really good.
And then even that, the post game, it just gets more and more interesting. Like there's just more for you to do. I never feel like I ever got to a point with the game where I was like, I'm done exploring, even though I'd been to every crack and crevice, because they're always kind of respawning the enemies. So yeah, the game's a lot, man.
Is it worth buying it on the Switch, or what do you give it? Does it come from Xbox 360 to the Switch, or has it been a PS4?
I don't know if they re-released it
I'm
on the
not sure
PS4.
if
I don't think they did re-release it on the PS4. They've done
So it's a
PS3 and
port.
Xbox. Yeah, it's a port. Darkness Arisen is the latest one. They did Dragon's Dogma, then they did Darkness Arisen, which
How
is
much is it on the Switch?
£25.
And
£24.99.
co-op? Is it co-op?
No.
Oh.
Because that was one thing that we thought could have been cool, because of the
Cool,
pawn
yeah.
system as well. It would
It
have
would
made
be nice if
sense.
someone could swap out, play like X-Men.
Oh man, that was
He
it.
did that like
There's
X-Men.
talks
where
of
you
a
just-
Dragon's Dogma too.
X-Men.
No, yeah, Bishi Bashi. It's got to go in there. Just an unbelievable multiplayer game. Loads of little mini games. Sit around the sofa. Like it had a couple of different installations as well. If you had the PlayStation pad, you could just press all the buttons and it'd be different. But if you had the analog ones, you could do some of them with the like.
Analog
the analog
stick.
to
So
like,
the DualShock added another.
that could be a little thing that you had if you had that pad, but I never really liked that pad. But yeah, Bishi Bashi all day, in and out, party mode game.
It's compatible with the Dance Man, isn't it?
You could try it. Yeah, you'd lose a lot of weight, but if you're gonna diet, yeah, try that one.
I'll bear that in mind.
Right, who's up? You.
I'm gonna go Witcher 3.
Okay.
Had to be said. I'm glad someone said it.
That was my first entry to the
Which
it's a
is
series. Like I remember
Wow.
seeing it at E3. Like visually, it looked incredible. And then I'm a big. I'm not a shooter guy. I do like shooters, but I'm more of a sword guy. If that makes sense.
More of a high
I'd
fantasy.
rather, yeah, like I'm shit to jab you in the leg with a pen.
It's a choice between Fallout and Skyrim. You pick Skyrim.
Yeah,
Swords.
yeah,
thought that's just Skyrim what comes there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's what I mean. That's why I picked the same sort of thing. It's just the goodness.
But which was like the like playing it.
Dragons and everything.
I thought I was a bad man at the time, and I thought I put on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
And it just turns out it'd be fucking.
Well,
This
Death
is
March.
Dark Souls.
No, Death
Dark
March.
Souls.
That's where it's at.
Ridiculous.
Show us, tell him.
This guy's the
Death March.
sweatstar. It doesn't matter what
Just
game
tell
he
him.
picks, yeah.
Who's that?
Doesn't matter what
Sure.
game it is. No, this little thing over here.
Big dick energy coming from
Yeah, it's this
Little.
little really, yeah. He always just puts everything on hard instantly.
Yeah, but you rarely finish them. I will say that.
Thank you.
You know, I'm not saying you don't, but
That's
you
'cause of
rarely
my-
finish
that's
them. You
'cause of
get
my-
stuck and then you don't.
That's my
finish
short attention span. I wouldn't say.
John.
Say a game recently. I stopped playing because of the difficulty level.
them. Kingdom Hearts.
No, but
You got stuck at the Final Fantasy fight. I know exactly where you are.
Stop playing it because I was playing God of War.
Okay, fair enough.
Listen, there's loads of games that we start on hard. and then it just
I
can name.
Huh?
You finished God of War, yeah?
No, I've got further than that.
You
What is
enjoy
wrong
that,
with
yeah.
you, man? Why have you not finished the
He
greatest
doesn't
game?
finish
in the
any.
world?
Because we're playing Apex.
I could give you a
And Monster
list.
Hunter.
He doesn't
Been
finish
friends with this guy for
the
so long. I
We've
could
been playing a lot of
list
online games. We've been playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Why? What's wrong with you? Why don't you finish games?
Because I
Why?
get
Why?
distracted.
Why are you not finishing them games now?
Me,
No, tell
I
him,
do
tell
think
him.
I finished a game recently.
No, don't give me a shit. What did he finish? What fucking
Recently,
indie 2-hour games?
it was Resident Evil 2 remake
Right, it's 4-hour game.
on the hardest
It's an
save.
hour game. 4-hour game. It's a 4-hour game. It's an hour game. I put it.
Resident Evil 2 remakes.
4-hour game.
Both campaigns. Both campaigns. On the hardest
So
save.
you're
it's
telling me
not-
it's a 4-hour game?
I'm not on the hardest save. It's not.
You were telling me he knew it was 4-hour game.
No, you can do it in like 30.
You can do it in under an hour. You can do it in under an hour. Just take them cutscenes right out. So you've not finished Red Dead. You've not finished God of War.
You finished Red Dead.
No,
He hasn't finished.
I can't even talk about the game. You finished this motherfucker.
1 or 2.
Yeah, it's on Xbox 360 and PS3, and I still don't know why.
I
Red
got-
Dead 2.
I got to Mexico.
Oh, 2.
Either.
He's still not finished Red Dead 2. Why have you not finished Red Dead 1?
No, I got to Mexico. Got bored. Sorry. What? What?
Why can't you just wait? You said sorry twice and then went.
What?
The defensive.
Hardest difficulty. Yeah, that's where it's at. That's where it's at.
Did you start God of War on hardest difficulty?
Yeah, I'm still.
Don't go to the Valkyries, mate.
Mate, I've done
You've not done the last one. The last one will fuck you up.
Bro.
The last one will bend you over.
Solid, mate.
Make it bitch. Yeah, because it made me bitch on easy.
Shows that you're talking.
Uneasy. You finished your last one?
Can I borrow in there, mate?
The first. Have you finished the last one?
Yeah.
I mean, the last one. Listen, it took me fucking days. Days, mate.
With mine.
On easy.
I nearly broke my pad a few times.
It's
He was
solid,
mad.
mate.
He was mad.
You need to be perfect.
There's a
You can't be
Perfect.
No,
Every
you need to be
parry.
perfect and then lucky.
yeah,
Because,
exactly.
because,
Yeah.
because literally, even
That
if
bitch
you
is-
go perfect, there can be those odd frame rates that would just.
And she just changes as well. One day she'll be like throw all of her attacks in, and all of a sudden she just make one up. The game will just make one up on you. Like what the fuck?
I've never
is
seen that one before. I hate that shit. It's just like, I played you for probably 3 hours of my life, and you've never done that move. So why are you doing it now? For what reason? What? You just went programmed to you. In 3 hours of fucking trying, you got a new move.
You might be getting used to this.
I feel he's getting a bit closer. There's a spanner one in the works.
It'll go one further. It'll literally do this. You know when there's you're supposed to be vulnerable after this one move. Like it'll do some like ultimate move, and I go, look, I know you powered up.
Oh my god.
Because every time you've done that, you've rested.
Seriously.
You've rested for a good 30 seconds. Now this one time when I'm running up on you, you're telling me you're going to do another
When
one.
it mixes up the time and you've been playing for 3 hours, that's when it starts to unhinge upstairs. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, no, I'm not creating the game. I start getting angry.
Who's that guy?
You never do that.
That guy playing with the Dark Souls.
You're tired.
Spanish guy. That's Spanish guy.
No. This is the Guardian.
He's just chilling. He's just like, oh, beat him.
Yeah, that's Akira. He fucked this fucking Yeti up, right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Dropped his controller, just fucking crying, and all of a sudden this Yeti just fucking gets back up. Gets up, and he's like, what? Starts swinging about, and he's just boom.
It's the laugh when he's running away. He's going, no, running away like this, yeah. And he literally just starts going, he's still running away. He's gone, like he's twitched out, like he literally starts going, like it's hilarious. His thing's chasing him again now. He killed it. It was dead. And then all of a sudden he gets up and he just goes, no. He's diving on the bed. It's the funny. I don't know what he's saying, but the fact he starts laughing is the funniest thing I've ever seen. He just starts bursting. He's just running, sprinting away from this thing. Oh, it's too good. That bit got me over there.
I keep going back to fucking The Witcher.
Yeah, thank you.
It took me ages to really get into it because it was so hard. So like the littlest things were fucking me up. But once you nail it, once you play it,
You said Gwen. You said the G word.
I don't like the game, Gwen.
You don't like
So I'm sorry, you can throw me out. It's the worst thing ever. It's the only thing that can prevent me check my trophies for my platinum. I did not like playing it. I even tried to finish the game and play it again on easy.
You need to go back and play Gwen. You need to go back and play Gwen.
I want to, and I've seen it there, so we need to talk. There's
You
two
need to go
copies. Interesting.
One's just not enough.
Witcher, because I need to, like I said, I need to go back to Gwen. I just didn't like it.
Gwen's amazing. Yeah, Phil.
But it must be good because he's got his own game.
Honestly, it's fantastic.
But
I even played the separate game as well. The separate game's even better.
Standalone Gwen.
Even the standalone Gwen game's even better, bro. It just takes the game and just literally elevates it to the next level. Honestly.
No, there's times I just boot up Witcher just to play Gwen.
really,
Yeah. no,
I just
seriously,
didn't.
it's
I
that
couldn't.
good.
Either because it was too hard, because maybe hard made it harder, made Gwen harder itself. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, maybe it's a card game.
That's the only thing I didn't like about it. Like I like.
Do you know what? For me, I enjoyed it because from the get-go, Tess told me before I started playing. He said, "Make sure you collect all the Gwen cards." I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I just knew that early game to make sure I was going around and collecting them and doing the missions. And then when you start actually playing and getting into it, it's so sick.
What's about some cards?
Bro, I had some bits. I had some absolute bits because I was looking from the get-go.
Sorry, Jim, I'm trying to blow it.
Well, was she topless or something? Like, 'cause no bitch would make me get blood cards
No,
unless she was topless.
no, it was worth it.
There you go.
It was just worth it. That's all I can say.
I need to do it. I do need to do it because I do want the plat. I feel like that plat is owed to me really because I put hours into that game. But the enemies, the witches, there's like witches,
witches.
and then the spells are incredible. Like they can change
the open world is incredible. I've still not played Blood and Wine. I keep meaning to buy that just to play it because I want a reason to play the game.
It's great.
The sword fighting, the shoot. Oh, the story. There's a bit in the game where like you.
No spoilers.
Fuck off.
You're not going to finish that game.
Probably not.
With
I want to though.
with the thing,
I'm
and you throw the
tonight,
thing.
You don't make me play it. Play it tonight.
It's the greatest game of all
I'm
time.
gonna play it.
And you get the thing and you throw the thing and you think, oh my god, I've just killed the thing. You see what's happening? Go!
I'm sorry.
Oh yes.
Yes!
Sorry. Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, man. And then the first like the side plot where you meet the king and he's like, he's all upset because
The bloody
his
Baron.
daughter- yeah.
Baron.
And that his daughter, is it his daughter?
Yeah, runs away.
But she's like a troll or something.
No, that's his wife.
His
Meant
wife's
to be-
some kind of
be-
troll or
yeah, with the bog hags.
Incredible.
The bog hags. There's 3 of them.
So I played this game so long ago,
Games.
but I haven't. But that game just associates everything. When I first got the PS4, my own PS4 with 2 tellies, so I even rang in sick many a times at work just to play it all day.
Mate,
But I've had
honestly.
plenty of that.
Witcher. I think every ounce of the game, it just.
So whose copies are these? Because I need to talk to somebody.
Mine.
Both.
There's only one.
It's just the bot.
It may be in there, maybe in a separate sleeve.
What's on tomorrow as well? Okay. Right. So back to the
Yeah,
Witcher.
no, but, yeah.
What have you got, Tad? Because if you're on my level, you know what I'm saying.
The game's amazing. Like I think you've covered pretty much everything. The storyline. I mean, Tess is again similar to myself. The game's just.
It's a lot, man. It's
It's a
really cool to see a fantasy game that's not sort of based on like kind of Western fantasy,
Yeah.
it's like that Slavic sort
100%.
of Russian style fantasy, and with like gremlins and ghouls, and everyone's just broke, everyone's poor, everyone's diseased, everyone's like a refugee from war. There's a real sense of like misery to the game. It's quite fun in a horrible way.
It's different, isn't it? Like you say, it's not really been
And
explored.
it's gassed up music as well.
It's going in, man. It's all about that music.
Garrett, man, what a fucking Garrett.
It's a
What
badass.
character? Oh, what
It's just a
character?
badass.
Absolutely.
Shout out-
amazing.
Nothing phased him. Like go on.
Who you've not played it, have you?
I played Witcher, yeah, but what are you going to say?
I was going to ask who you
I got to the second act.
decided to.
Fuck. Which one?
Yeah.
What, Triss or
I
Yennefer?
can bang all of them.
Oh, you can bang both of them if you
Yeah.
want, and as well as the white-haired bitch, Kira.
And then
Yeah.
there's a bit in there where
What?
you
You
can.
can beat it? Oh, yeah.
See,
yeah.
there's someone that's hotter.
Is there an ending where like
Okay,
you're just about to have a
that's
threesome and they thought you're
Yep.
what bastard?
That's
Man.
it.
Yep. There is that ending.
This
Yeah.
is
I know, I don't want to sound perverted, but probably the greatest sex scenes and like
Oh yeah, fantastic.
they all
They're really well done.
Getting
Like,
some really
like
juicy
GOT
content here.
They all
Got a GOT, but honestly, trust me, like they get it in.
like have you played Heavy Rain?
Yeah.
Oh, that sex scene is trash.
It wasn't a sex scene.
What is it then?
It was
Two pieces of plastic rubbing up against each other.
desperate. Yeah, it's
Well,
ridiculous.
no, yeah, the Witcher
Yeah.
it's just every game I have is a memory outside of gaming that I was like.
It's just
Witcher was
the
my PlayStation.
It's the experience, man.
I told a story about the SmackDown. It's grandma ran across the bus. Do you know what I mean?
You
That for
remember
me, yeah, for me, every memory I have is a game. There's a game attached to it. I've got some crazy stories, like looking for games like Demon Souls.
Right.
The OG Demon Souls. Me,
Got it.
me and my partner were like, oh, this looks really good. Everybody's talking about it. It's got 10s out of 10s out of 10s, right? Can't be that hard. We are gamers. We are gamers. So we travel Derby, Nottingham, everywhere for it. Put it in. 3 hours later.
This is so unforgiving.
Hard, isn't it? Yeah.
Solid, mate.
So crushing.
Got rid of it.
Got rid of it.
60 quid on travel, mate. Like, bussing it, taxiing it, looking for a game.
Never gonna play it.
Never played it.
Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, please.
Yeah? Sick. But the
It
test. Mysterious voice.
might not be the best game or even a favourite, but it's definitely more of a wild card one. A highlight, Batman Arkham Asylum.
Sick!
Oh,
So
shit,
it's-
yeah.
it's easy
And you
to
said
forget.
the
It's been a
right
few-
one as well.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
said the
yeah.
right one.
It's been a few years out now, but it's easy to forget that like it's the best comic book game ever made, and then like nothing's even come close. Like Marvel Spider-Man, haven't played it myself. It sounds like it's a real hot contender.
the
but
greatest
bro,
game
They're very
That's
different.
fine.
Do you know what it is? The attributes. With Spider-Man, you've got to get it right. Like, you've got to be able to be swinging through them
Well, I
cities.
think with
Gotta get Batman right as well.
compliments to
Of course, with the fighting style, because that just invented it. That invented that way of
that sort
styling.
of counter combo
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Honestly,
The list
That's
is
loads.
endless. It's absolutely
And
endless.
it was such a good fight as well. It felt so fluid.
Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah,
Mate,
that
it was
was
delicious.
Backup game.
sick.
And like the follow-up games were sick as well. But I feel like they made them bigger, which was cool. But they were less densely packed.
Yeah.
Like every square inch of Arkham Asylum was like full of like little cool architectural details, little callbacks to like odd villains, like all the Riddler trophies. The whole place was so thought out. It was perfect, and it's like kind of when it stayed a bit more compact, it allowed you to sort of really explore the minds of all these characters a bit more. And you know, there's a really good Joker storyline in there as well.
Yeah.
Everything.
Good
There's
stuff.
so many Easter eggs as well. Like if you actually pay attention, there's those stones, is it, or something you can scan, and it's like the spirits of Arkham or something. It tells you about- and when you read the character profiles, it goes into it, and it's like the spirit of Arkham will then possess somebody else. And later on in the game, if you go to, I think it's Mr. Sharp's room. I can't remember his name. Something Sharp.
Just with a map on the wall.
Yeah. So what you do, it might be Quincy. It's basically the asylum. The guy who runs the asylum. In his room, if you put if you put explosive gel on his room on a wall, it doesn't even come up on your visor, and you blow it up. It then reveals that he's got like a secret diary. That where he's talking like he's the spirit of Arkham and stuff like that. It's a little nuances. Makes you feel like Batman because you know there's no way to tell, and you just kind of go into it. It's awesome.
Yeah, sick. And also in that office where you find the map for Arkham City, the next game on the wall.
The
as well.
Easter eggs. Yeah.
And Batman.
It's sick. My proudest platinum, I'd say. Arkham Asylum. 100%. Yeah, my proudest platinum.
Really?
100%. It's so good.
Yeah, that game was a solid challenge. It was just a solid challenge.
You had to play it hard, didn't you, as well?
Yeah. New Game Plus.
There's nothing better than that feeling though.
No, you didn't have to do New Game Plus.
There's nothing better than that fighting style and that way of doing it, or like.
It was all the challenges, the story,
All the Riddler
trophies. I think I got all the Riddler trophies.
Yeah, flipping.
And then you got to do the Silent Predator stuff.
Yeah, which was easy in comparison to the combat.
Yeah. But no,
That was way more fun.
I definitely think it holds up as. It's a really influential game, regardless in terms of superhero games, but just in terms of gaming onwards.
The mechanic, the fighting mechanic as well. That's from that moment on. It's gone to a lot of other games as well. Like every game has that dodge, hit.
Even to some capacity, even maybe some capacity Witcher. Even because like just the button layout and the format of it, the dodge, the stun type thing. But even obviously the mechanics are slightly
It's the way
different.
to fight, man. People can't not have that now. You need the ability to be able to dodge. You need the ability to be able to time things, and especially when you're a superhero because you're supposed to be superhuman. So.
Spider-Man's got the exact same mechanic.
Basically,
Spider-Man's sick.
Shadow or Mortal, same mechanic.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed.
What game?
Sleeping Dogs. It's something like that.
Honestly, like, if you haven't played Spider-Man yet, like, if you want that feeling again, but in a whole new world of powers.
Should have gone back and started The Witcher recently.
Spider-Man is the greatest game.
Honestly, it's a great game.
It's my favourite game. I got the Spider-Man PlayStation Pro.
Nice. Oh, the red one.
It's beautiful. Honestly, it's the greatest day of my life. I've got 2 children. Not the greatest day of my life. Not bothered.
Keep that in the recording.
I just like honestly. I recently started working nights, and I was like, right, I'm gonna get up early, and then I'm just wait at the door and wait for the postman. And Natalie comes upstairs. She goes, "It's here." And I was like, "That's not. Why would I be up for? Full of shit." So we had a conversation for about half an hour. So she's like, "You gonna come downstairs, open this box?" I was like, "Is it really here?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why would we fucking talk to you for then?" Went down the stairs, mate. The box is just there, like in a column, like beautiful, right? And you just, I've got the box of the console, just like top of the stairs. So
Of course.
Every day. And she's not allowed to like dust it. I have to. It's so fucking beautiful. And then when I first played the game, and it's just like, it's everything I ever wanted. I've never been excited for a game since I was like, you know when you get excited for a game, you're excited for a game, whatever. But this was special to me. Like this was like being a kid again.
Yeah.
I was counting down the hours, the weeks. I was going to work like I've only got 6 more weeks, 5 more days.
That's it.
And honest to God, that was the shit. And then when I was at work the night it came out, so I took a picture. I've still got a picture on my old phone of the clock hitting midnight of the day that it came out on the 7th of September.
So excited about
I was so fucking excited. Like I couldn't. And like Red Dead came out like 3 weeks later, a month later. But I don't know, like it was just incredible. And then I played it, I finished it, and when I finished it, I cried. And don't get me wrong, there's a moment to cry in it.
Yeah, of course.
But I didn't cry because of the ending. I cried because it's fucking finished. And I was like,
I want to play more Spider-Man. There's got to be a sequel, bro.
Oh, of course there is.
There'll be a sequel because that's why they did it that way.
No, when they ended it as well.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
When they ended it, oh my fucking god! And then they got, then they did Spider-Verse as well. Anyway, so Spider-Man's not going to be my third one, but it should have been.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be.
No, absolutely fantastic. I feel like
It's an hierarchy. It's all equal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
But Arkham Asylum though, like people slate that game. What is that in your hand?
Mug. What?
Of water.
Yeah.
For the cup of tea on the go. Like,
Didn't ask.
I've got a kettle. I'm out of a kettle for you, by the way. You know?
You didn't get to do a drink.
I do want to drink.
Yeah, I'm eating TV. Will you say that?
This fucking guy.
Yeah. So we're talking about Batman.
Arkham Asylum gets slated for being a corridor game, but it's more than that, isn't it? It's incredible, man. The way you move, is Arkham Asylum the one where it thinks you think your game is broke?
It's one of the first Scarecrow hallucinations.
Yes.
And you're like, what is this? And then all of a sudden it goes back to the beginning, and you think, I think it just
It's
fucked up.
tripping. It's so trippy.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Makes you think that you
Forgot about
died,
that.
doesn't it? And you hit like continue or something
Yeah.
like slightly different instead of retry. So
it's not said no.
Midnight Launch for it, and my mate was like, "Why are you getting Batman?"
Yeah.
Arkham. My mate was like, "Why are you getting this for?" I was like, "Batman, innit? It's sick." I was some good stuff, man. I've got some more.
I wanted the big one.
Some standards.
And he was like, "Why are you getting this game for?" I was like, "Bat, it's gonna be good, isn't it?" I went to sleep next morning. He'd been up all night playing it.
it's Batman.
He's like, "This is a great game."
It's amazing. Some of the heroes and the villains you come across as well in it, like Killer Croc.
Yeah.
What a level!
Amazing.
What a
Amazing.
fight.
That's fine.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Every-
Doing a video about our favourite games of all time, so how can I not mention
Oh, he's gonna do it.
Streets
Yeah,
of Rage 2. Streets of Rage 2. I'm gonna say one more time. Streets of Rage 2.
Sorry, what was it?
Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, okay.
Probably my favourite game on the Mega Drive. It was one of my favourite. I think it's the best 2D side-scroller beat 'em up, in my opinion. I'm incredibly biased. I think it's timeless. Art style is second to none, and then you've got the music, which is
perfect. Yeah.
It's perfect. It captures the game completely. It's probably still one of the best video game soundtracks. They did a live orchestra version of it recently in Paris, and I listened to it on YouTube. And honestly, it's just fantastic. It's amazing. It's co-op. It just built on the first one in every way possible, and yeah, man. Even down to like the enemy design. Depending on the enemy design, they'll attack you in a certain way. So from a player point of view, that teaches you to approach in a different way. So even little things like that, it plays with strategy. It's an incredible game, but you don't even realise it because you're just having so much fun and you just know how to act around certain enemies. Every character feels varied. There's 4 characters. Don't think you can unlock any in Streets of Rage 2.
No.
But all feel different and rewarding, and it's just great. And I still never
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
You haven't completed it.
No, not completely.
Not
Not
Mania,
Mania.
yeah.
Not Mania.
Because
Not
Mania is the
Always get to this elevator and the last stage, and you just get bodied.
It's a joke.
It throws all the bosses at you. Just have them again. Every single
Seriously.
one.
Have them again.
before the final boss.
Where can I play it? Where can I play it?
You can play it on the Switch.
Is it on the Switch?
You play on the PS4. They released the Sega Mega Drive collection
Oh, right.
recently.
Yeah.
Any of them will have Streets of Rage on, or you play on emulator, man. Play on emulator, bro.
Emulator.
Have a great time. You play the first one on your phone.
If you really want to think
Yeah,
about it,
don't
just
play.
get the pads, innit?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like, if you want to do that thing, just get the actual pad and get the adapter
It's
that
great.
goes into your thing. USB
Every
and
stage,
stuff.
there's weapons, secret lives.
Actually, that is like the best thing to play with your other half. Honestly,
So
it's a fantastic game.
Yeah,
Fantastic
that's a
game.
good one through, man.
And yes, there is a female character, and she's kind of cool.
She's hot.
Called Blaze. She kicks ass.
She kicks all the ass.
All the-
You got Max the wrestler, and you got a little black kid called Skate.
Yeah, who's trying to avenge his dad.
Who's got skates on. Hence the name Skate.
Constantly falls over every 2 seconds.
Stereotypically does breakdance moves.
No.
This is actually
No way, really?
He does a little spinner-rooney. He spins on his head and it gets
Yeah.
But no, it's
Yeah, brilliant. It's the whole trilogy is brilliant.
great. And I feel like everything after that, in terms of side scroll and beating ups, would go to implement elements of it, like
Special meters and stuff.
special meters,
Yeah.
weapons. Oh God, the game. Yeah,
It's a game.
I never.
And Street Race 4 is coming out this
It's
year.
coming out!
What do you mean?
Street Race 4.
Yeah, it is.
The
Yeah, there is another Streets of Rage.
What, like
new one.
It's on its way.
And then
No, I mean, like, with proper graphics.
And then, no, with
old school stuff?
old school graphics and
inspired,
with
yeah.
everything that you wanted the old ones to have. So you can now do air combos and stuff. So you can throw people in.
Like Guacamelee.
Bruv, it's going off.
It's gonna be a full title, though, isn't it?
I'm so excited. No, it shouldn't be.
You're saying no, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't
Look,
be.
I asked you.
What's the trailer?
A couple million more.
If
people
they've got
that's
hit
that.
like
What's the trailer?
alternate pathways, that's it. I'm done. That's it. I'm done.
What's the trailer?
But yeah, we should splice probably.
trailer?
We should edit this up with maybe some footage of the game,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that. That'd be interesting. But yeah, I could talk about that game all day, but I'm not going to.
No, it's a big man game. I'm definitely gonna watch trailer because I want to
Fantastic
see it.
I want to play it right now.
No, I'll blatantly listen. If you want to get some emulators cracking on this, we can do
I'll
that.
do that.
Like, we can do that. It's not a thing.
put it in the
You
GameCube
go
app, so
bang, but
get it
a
working.
chicken wing on string.
Easily.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I think Lukey's next, isn't it?
Lukey, let's go.
I'm torn between three. I know. Of course you are. So can I say them quickly, and then elaborate on one?
Okay. Yeah, if you want to.
I couldn't decide between Half-Life and Paul, so I decided to brush them aside, and I'm gonna go with Ninja Baseball Batman. I really
Really?
am. I'm sorry.
Really?
That game, right? And it's
Ninja Baseball
so mindless and so. It's just so mind-numbing. It's just the dumbest game. You were literally pressing a button, a few buttons.
Did you say Ninja Baseball?
Ninja Baseball
I
Batman.
don't know what this game is.
It is the greatest arcade game I've ever played.
Ninja
Ever. And I'm sorry, I played Street Fighter 2.
Ninja Baseball.
It is the greatest game ever.
Baseball.
Ninja Baseball Batman. Jamie literally made me think of it because it's just the most Japanese thing ever. It's so stupid. Like, one of the enemies you fight is a tiny little green thing that's pushing a skateboard that has a cat on it.
It's great.
Okay.
It's just stupid, honestly. It's basically you can. I think it's 4-player.
It's absolutely 4-player.
Yeah, 4-player, Madness. It was in America and Japan. You can't find the arcade cabinets anymore. It's a beat 'em up. It's the craziest beat 'em up ever. You can watch a bit of footage. It's the funniest thing ever. They knew what they were doing by calling it Batman. That's how they got it to sell. Because it had nothing to do with Batman. It's just the stupidest game ever.
It's amazing.
It's so fun
it's
to
an
play. And
incredible-
I'm just passionate about it because the only way you can play it is on the emulator unless you happen to have access to the arcade. That clip does not do it justice.
It doesn't.
It's one player, man. Yeah, why are you fighting? You fight a plane with a plane. It's so dumb. I don't know. It's just so fun, and you have special moves. You have like
Game's fucking
you have all these different variants of special moves. You just
93.
it's so
When did you first discover this game?
years ago through a YouTuber that I hold very dear to my heart. He just made an announcement saying, "Yeah, play this game." So I played it and I just loved it.
We played it with Justin.
Anthony.
Yeah. On
Let's do
arcade sticks and shit. It was really
Where
cool.
at?
My bros.
Had to play it on the
Just
emulator. It's the only way you can. But
It's not
my
a very-
goodness. No, okay, this is not doing it justice. This
It
is
looks
just a one
like
player.
Cuphead,
And this
in a way.
is more than likely
Like the enemies.
It looks like Cuphead.
picture 2 or 3 more players and it's absolute madness.
Yeah,
It's
I bet
so
it is.
it's just I don't know what's going on there.
This
But yeah,
is
so
93.
93.
honestly, so yeah, that's my
Look
game.
at this though for 93.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty dangerous.
It's beautiful.
That's my game. It's so brainless,
gameplay.
but it's so fun.
I think out of a lot of the arcade side scrollers as well, it definitely does stand out. Like enemy design, art style, and even the way that all the different Batmen feel.
It's quite
It's
distinctive.
really cool.
There
Really
was
cool.
different Batman.
It's
Yeah,
really
there's like a
cool.
fat one and a really slender one.
players. The
And they'll fight differently. It's just it's so much fun. It's just what you want from a video game. It's just fun.
it's fun. I'm about it all
I
over
think
it.
this and Dungeons and Dragons are definitely one of the better ones. Dungeons and Dragons are amazing. Just for the fact
Well,
you
old
can level
school.
up.
Yeah.
You're on arcade.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it.
Bro,
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Dungeons and Dragons.
In the arcades, bro, you can six player, 8 player, like we did it. You did run it on PC, I'll probably download it. There's nothing else just need enough controllers. Fucking amazing. Pick up items, different classes, level up. Yeah, it's cool. Okay.
That's simple.
Ninja Baseball Batman. This is better, mate. So you Showsy.
Mass Effect 3.
Last one. 3!
Oh, you got the 3!
Out of all
Oh
of them.
shit!
Fucking
Controversial!
Fucking 3!
Mass Effect 3.
3! Nigga,
3! I never played 1, but 3!
A long back.
Hands down 3.
Not 2!
Hands down.
3.
You were crap!
No, 3.
3
Just wondering.
In terms of gameplay, it's amazing.
Like, it has to be 3. Like,
But
At the end of the day, I look
Keep
at
the
but when you
story.
play a trilogy of games, for me, obviously you start with Mass Effect 1, but the penultimate one is 3.
I never played
most
the
important-
re-ended.
the
Did
most
you play the
important one is
re-ended?
3.
Well, 3 is the rounds off
I
that
never played the
universe.
I
re-ended.
did.
I was okay with the end anyway.
No, I was. No, the first ending was
Trash.
bad.
Oh,
Bro, it was bad.
Oh.
No, really?
The
What, all bad? What was all bad?
Are you guys going to go play Mass
Oh,
Effect?
yeah,
Because you
yeah.
should.
all bad endings.
No.
It's only 10 years old.
I'd have
You
to
guys should play
disagree.
Mass
Was the new
Effect.
ending bad as well? Yeah.
Was it as bad as God?
Oh, I didn't play that Citadel one where you get to like the final conversation.
Was it as bad as Game of Thrones?
It was about
Is it as bad as Game of Thrones?
It's bad. It's pretty bad. Like,
Pretty
I'm not
bad.
trying to
No, it's
downgrade it,
better, it's
not
better than
pretty
Game of
bad.
Thrones.
Like,
better
but
than Game
for
of
the
Thrones.
not for the end. Not that was
Slightly.
bitter, but for the
Actually, I
overall
don't know,
experience of the
The
game.
more I think about
Mass
what's
Effect,
happening.
yeah. Like
Nobody
for
was
how
gonna end.
vast that game was, for the amount of people you could literally just travel the world and talk to anybody you like.
Insane.
Bro, the game was stupid.
Yeah.
And it was actually.
Was it the one with the nightclub in it as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
Af-
shit.
Afterlife.
Yeah, that number 2.
Commander Shepard's
No, was it
dancing.
number 3?
I think after, you can still get to Afterlife in 3.
The
But
place was pumping.
Afterlife was popping to be fair. And then Masari.
it's just immersive.
Some of them Masari were in the right thing. But then that was you was talking about the other day, Tess, when we were saying that the Asari are the race that, because to somebody else they look different.
It was me.
Was it me and you?
Yeah, there's a scene in the game actually. It's not even a scene. You're just playing the game, and when you're in the nightclub, it's not an Afterlife. It's an Asari dancing on the table, sexy, and there's 3 dudes, all different races, and all looking and all describing her in turn, talking about how she looks. So I look at her green skin, she looks amazing. And she's like, green skin? She's blue and she doesn't have tentacles at all. She has like braids, and they're like, what are you seeing? And it just shows, so it adds another layer because that race then must emit something that makes them look more appealing to the race that they're showing to. It's just weird, man. That game's just weird. And I think it's one of the games that absolutely fucking nailed side characters. Like,
Oh yeah,
like everyone.
I played
Every
number
single
1. I jumped to the number 2. I got it. I literally just down. I'm not gonna say I got it, but I got it, and I was like, it's a game to play, and I was fucking hooked. And everyone meant to be, and like even the people that were meant to piss you off pissed you off.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Jack from the second one.
Is it Jack? Yeah, Jack's the girl in it with the Jack.
yeah.
It's like, just shut your mouth. Yeah, right.
Shut up, Jack.
Just shut your mouth. And then like the pressure of trying to get him through that mission.
The suicide mission.
Like,
That's why the second one's so it's my favourite. This one.
oh mate, but no,
So
I appreciate.
They're both good.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying. It was a hard decision, but I do think 3's
I
better.
think 3 online mode was.
I mean, I respect your decision, but you're
Really underrated.
I never played number 1, and that's
Great.
yeah. I've heard it's good.
No.
I can't say it's
Your character carry on.
It's arguably the best. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
all
go through the
three
whole
go
thing.
all the way
All
through.
your choices from the
And then
first one to the
number
third
2 it starts off where you die,
Oh my
and
God.
and it gives you an excuse to make a character again.
Yeah.
Like just to redo your character. Like they just put you back together.
You should play it from the first one, honestly. Like, I tends to go back through.
I just want
Yeah.
the trilogy on the PlayStation 4,
Thank you.
but they're not doing it.
I went on the fucking Switch, and I'll never see daylight ever again.
Ever again.
Ever again.
Yeah, you'd actually die. There's a skeleton with a switch in his hand.
Commander Slazy.
And even there watching the shit ending.
One of the billion endings that could have happened.
But yeah, Mass Effect 3 is
Incredible
really good.
game.
It's really good. And then I was saying to Tess as well that the online is really underrated. It was like,
You think?
yeah, wave based,
I did,
man. It's cool when you play with a partner. Like, it's cool. But no, it's an incredible game. I think the universe that it sets out as well, and the way it concludes, is one thing. But just the fact that you get to experience all these things with these different side characters and these races is just really good. Man.
Yeah, like going
Really
to
good.
you know, but the planet farming, is it planet farming they call it?
I can't remember.
And you just
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you planet.
yeah, you did
Yeah.
that.
I did that for fucking hours.
Bro, you could just
I'm
get
like-
lost doing that, not even doing any of the missions, just literally
Great
looking
style.
at different,
But
picking up resources and the games.
if my gripe was, if that was Mass Effect 1, you actually go to the planet and you explore the planet, and that's why Mass Effect 1's amazing.
Oh, do you do that? More?
Yeah.
In 1 you can go to so many different planets, and there's loads of missions where you're in this Mako but people hated it, so they took it out. Where you're just in this, it's literally just like a 4x4, and you're just exploring the planet.
And number one.
Yeah, and certain planets has different atmospheres that you can't explore yet, and you have to get doing.
So is that why Andromeda did that?
I didn't know Andromeda did that. No, I've not played.
You just drive around. I didn't like
Yeah.
Andromeda simply because of the whole. You have to go around the whole planet.
You can do that. Yeah, but then they streamlined it in the third and the second one, where they just made it.
Have you
like
been?
that.
Andromeda?
No. I was going to, but then I thought I was going to hang out for Anthem, and then Anthem.
10.
Done. Conversation done. Next one. Then
I've seized up.
what is it?
I've seized up. In fact, do you know what? I'm gonna go with flipping Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast.
Oh my god! What a fucking game!
I'm gonna whip that one out, you know, just because the only reason I'm whipping it out though, yeah, is because I'm a die-hard Mario guy, yeah, and Sega, like Sonic, them eras, obviously he was the competitor to Mario, and I never actually, with the Sonic ones, I just always felt like, obviously he's rapid and that's the point, he's going through it fast, but it was just tearing through levels, not really having to stop and think about whether or not something might be down there or something might be here. Just keep coins, just keep going. Like that's it. Whereas Mario had so many.
Did you want to hear that song? I was going to come in and hand it to you, but there's 2 orders.
Definitely. If you ordered one and he's under you two.
I disagree with you about the secrets and
That's what I'm
stuff.
saying.
No, there are secrets.
Because you need to get the secrets, because they're the care modes and stuff like that in the older Sonic games.
No, yeah, you can get them, but you still go.
What?
You can still go. You can still go forward through the game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying they're there, but I'm just saying most people I see that game don't stop and think about those things.
Yeah.
They're just going. They're just
Gotta
gone.
go fast.
That's it, because Sonic he's ripping, but like yeah, but anyway, Sonic Adventure changed that whole like mentality of it because it actually brought Sonic to life, like gave him a bit of a story, bit of an ethos, bit of everything like that, and it was like okay, and you could do multiple characters throughout the thing, and Tails is obviously my G, so yeah. But yeah, Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, yo, when I got the Dreamcast, man, I was like, alright, let me give this Sonic Adventure. I remember first getting it, I was like, let me give this a go, and I literally never stopped playing it until I completed it. Just went through it, every character, every level, everything, just went through it.
It was amazing when it first came out. There's that level where you're running down the building, and I remember going nuts on it as a kid, like, oh my god. Even being chased by the whale in the first level, you're like,
everything. It's just everything. It was just the music, everything about that game just completely tore it up.
I just want to say, I got a Sega Dreamcast, right, just play that game because of you.
Yeah.
What, Sonic Adventure?
Oh my god, it just came around my ass. But it was incredible. You could free roam.
It was just free roam
City as well.
You had to go to different places to find different places to get into it.
Yeah.
The amount of times I bought that game on different, like, Xbox 360. I swear I've still got my Dreamcast.
The thing was,
definitely got my Dreamcast.
The thing was,
I'll have to bring it, you just whack off there.
when Mario 64 came out, obviously that was good, it was brilliant, it came out as groundbreaking, but Sonic Adventure came out afterwards on the Dreamcast, and literally, like, that had all those little problems fixed. Like, you could just run about freely and the camera was just moving, and you was like, yeah, this is bad, oh my god, it just felt great.
Some of it's still a bit glitchy. Like,
Some of it,
so it's a bit janky sometimes, but the game itself
I think more
was
because
still...
of that pad though.
Yeah, I mean, that was
Dreamcast
alright. I like the analog.
No, I mean, it's alright, it's just a clunky ass.
VMU is revolutionary.
Yeah, that
I didn't mean
is
to
too
swap.
good.
You can sit here and I'll sit there if you want.
Let's go. Yeah, that's it.
No, they
Is it
didn't
there?
took the number of that one.
Yeah.
That was sick. But yeah, I think Sonic Adventure really did change it, and especially for Dreamcast. I know it didn't save it in the end, but
Me,
Poor Dreamcast.
it just came out too early because of the DVD technology, but them that went on to just crush it because all Dreamcast games were on CD, so they couldn't compete with how big.
If anything, but like, the Dreamcast. Remember the memory cards? Oh
Yeah,
the little
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
what they call them
Chows.
Chows. Oh,
Everything.
Chows.
Yeah, you could take a little mini game with it. There's loads of little mini games.
Let's talk about that controller. That controller was big.
It was big. It was big, but it wasn't uncomfortable big like the first Xbox controller. You put that in your hand, it's like, what am I holding? What is this monstrosity? This murder weapon?
It's ridiculous.
This large rock.
It's horrible. You like,
I liked it.
the first Xbox man, you like?
No, the first one, yeah, you got bigger hands. Like, it's all about the S.
Yeah,
It's all about the
and
S.
then
When they
moved
brought the
the-
F, they brought the M out, and then they brought the S out.
They
The
moved-
S was perfection.
Yeah, the S was so
They
good.
moved
It was like
Fucking-
perfection.
yeah,
It was like,
great.
ooh, yeah, and you was
Even
like,
the Xbox One controller was incredible.
But yeah, that's what I mean. No,
Too
but
edgy.
people keep saying that, but no, the Xbox One controller literally
It's too edgy.
fits your hand to perfection.
360 is better. 360 controller is better for me still. But
Yeah,
yeah,
this controller's nice, but it's a bit, yeah, a bit more smooth. I know what you mean. But no, for actual like this is in your hand, so like,
Is that Marvel?
it's like aerodynamically in your hand.
Sorry.
It's a lot.
Was it your mate?
And the analog is positioned exactly where it should be.
yeah, it should be.
Mine's that, man.
That's partly due to the Dreamcast pad. Look, there's remnants of the Dreamcast pad in that.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, Dreamcast was just like bigger on it.
Yeah, it was just longer. That was it. And
But
then
no, this is
left
just-
another trigger.
This is
That's probably the closest thing to the Dreamcast pad than anything else.
But the triggers on this as well. It's like
It curves up like the Dreamcast one.
no, but I mean like, you know, you just all it has to be is there. Like you don't have to actually press it. Like you just, it's already there.
That's it.
It's,
It is a nice controller.
It's right down in your fingers, so you just it's a lovely controller, mate. Without that, beautiful controller.
Sonic Adventure.
Sonic Adventure definitely
what a
takes
game though.
definitely takes it out there. It was a great time for Sega at that point when they made that game.
It's
There's
just
a few
amazing.
games on the Dreamcast that smacked it.
What were you haven't that you haven't that already?
No, I'm gonna go in a second. I just want to put my 2 pence in for Sonic Adventure. It's the same one you could put when you put the little pack in the top. You can watch
Yeah.
it on the screen.
You can get the little chows.
Yeah, you can get it.
take them. You could find them, like all the animals that you collected. You go back to the little thingy and then you throw them all out, and then you could make eggs representative of the attributes
Yeah.
of those animals that you
Animals,
collect.
yeah.
And then literally put it in, and then you can take it away with you like a Tamagotchi.
And
You
just
could like
keep them with
feed
you.
it,
Don't, it was
level him up. It's
Amazing.
too good, bro.
That's amazing.
Game
It
was
was
too
too
And like
much.
in the story as well, you complete all the characters, and
The
then you get that
rest
last.
I literally bought a Dreamcast.
You get that last
because of it.
scenario
Because I
when
had
you
it.
do the
Yeah, yeah,
Supersonic
yeah,
bit,
yeah.
and it's just fucking epic, man. When you first Supersonic, the whole sequence, the main theme music comes in, and you're running underwater. You have to go through the boss. Oh, the last boss is
And
hard.
it was beautiful as well.
Huh?
And it was beautiful.
It was just really
Yeah,
something
it was.
graphically. It was just like
to
Look
look
good,
at.
man.
It was a really nice game.
yeah, man. Everything about it was
So
brilliant.
colourful.
Like I said, it was N64 brought out Mario, and that was like groundbreaking. But then Dreamcast came out later and brought out Sonic Adventure, and I think they kind of pipped it. For me, getting like gaming in that sense, they kind of pipped it.
That's controversial.
But-
Yeah. Are you saying that you think Sonic Adventure is better than Mario 64?
I think that even now today, Sonic Adventure plays up better than Mario 64. Yeah.
No, but you're saying it's a better game.
Don't do it, Jamie.
Don't do it.
I need to get it on
I'm trying-
podcast.
he's trying to get into
It's not that. No, it is. I'm not afraid of saying that.
I know,
because
I know.
At the end of the day, Mario wins overall. I'm
Of
just
course
saying
it is.
that in my lifetime,
At the time of playing
if they both came out at the same time, I would have definitely been sitting there going,
Oh, okay.
and then going, ooh, Sonic, what's he doing? What's he doing this?
know,
Sega
don't
doing this.
remember.
I'm not dodging it.
You
Like
are.
that was, I think now,
Sega.
at this day and age, that game's better than Mario 64. Yeah,
Okay.
that game. But no,
Holds
Sega-
up better. Okay.
Yeah, definitely holds up
I
better.
don't know.
Yeah, I think.
It definitely
Yeah, I
does.
think you have to agree with him on that. That if you was to play them now,
Definitely does. You put Sonic Adventure on now,
Yeah.
you'll get around on it and feel a lot more like, oh shit, I'm Sonic, than you would as Mario. Just because you know what goes off in Mario. I'm telling you now, in later levels, you do some dodgy shit.
I want to know what Luke would say. No,
You'd
quite
be doing,
interested.
you would be doing some dodgy shit later in
What,
Mario.
Mario 64?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Some
I know
real
it
dodgy
controls
shit.
weird, but
It's
so does
weird.
Sonic Adventure as well.
No, Sonic
Yeah.
Adventure. So, no, the only time it does
Yeah.
is when you're going rapid and you turn a corner fast. That's the time when it comes.
the kid's gonna go.
And then it just goes 1 minute, no, and the camera just goes, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. You know what I mean? But as far as everything else, it runs smooth, man.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that I can say is that fucking the analog on the Dreamcast was always a bit rusty. Like
Had them edges, didn't it, to
it's a
it?
bit rusty.
Had them edges.
It's a bit rusty. It's not like the game controller. You know, like C.
Yeah.
The C don't get rusty.
Yeah, the Dreamcast.
Anyway, like it gets a bit like.
man.
Well, that with the
I know what you're
Dreamcast, it
saying.
starts going. And you're like, I don't like that.
Boring trying to move
I
around.
don't like that. But yeah, the C.
I'm gonna have to get my
stick on-
Dreamcast. Hold on, I have to go and find it. I got one.
Powers.
Fire it up. I'm gonna go Gears of War, man, because I've even got the tattoo. Like, there's for the camera. Like,
Gears of War's banging.
got a Gears of War tattoo. I can't leave it off the list. For me, Gears of War, like, is not. The game is great. The stories are alright, But for me, it's
up until 3.
yeah. But for me, it's about my circle of friends. Like we used to just play it every time we were together.
Xbox Live?
Yeah,
Online.
and then even online, like the online was great, and then we'd have the horde mode, like nights where my two friends would just be sat there high as a kite, just jamming horde, and just can't get to the 10th. Every 10th wave was the hardest,
That's a good one too.
and they spend like a whole day on it, like a whole day, just can't get past number 30.
Are you picking the franchise?
Just all of it, yeah. Gotta pick the franchise. It's incredible, and then, like me and my friend Jason would just sit there every Friday, create a board, and we play Wingman. We call it Wingman Fridays, and we thought we were sick at it. We were pissed as a fart, but we were bad at that game, like really bad. Like we didn't know a lot, but we thought we were great at the
Not
game.
Michael Jackson bad. He was actually bad.
Very. No, I think Gizzle, I think that's why I got the tattoo. Everyone's like, "Oh, your tattoo's that terrible." Yeah, fair enough. It's not the greatest tattoo. But for me, that symbolises like my friendship with my friends. Like,
Yeah, like.
and the Lancer, that's incredible.
It's
Like I spent
iconic.
£17 on DLC for the gold Lancer off eBay. Just have a gold Lancer.
It was worth it.
Yes,
That's
it's War 2, man.
You've got a Lancer.
No, just the on the game to have a gold Lancer.
Or you actually had a
No, I want one. That's the dream. I've got a Negan Walking Dead bat. Just sat in my wardrobe. The greatest thing ever. I'm all about that memorability.
No.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
What have you played? Have you played Gears of War?
Yeah, no.
No, I've always been a Sony guy. Never had any of
See,
the Xbox.
I'm the most fickle person ever. If the shit's happening over there, I'm gone. See you in a bit.
No, it's good to talk with Joe.
The Xbox 360 was
I
incredible.
had the 360 and I had Gears of War on it, and it's one of the best third-person action games.
Yeah.
Still, third shooters. Sorry. Thank you.
I'm gonna piss you off again, Tess. Is my water done now?
It should be.
Chill.
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
What do you like to do?
And online,
Online, just the co-op was great.
everything, bro.
And when the Gears of War 4 as well, that was alright. You play as his son.
And
the story's like
split screen co-op was
Yeah,
very important.
yeah,
as well.
and
It's
that's
amazing.
and then the story in Gears of War 4 is great.
I haven't played it.
I got, and then the next one comes out this year. That's gonna be incredible.
I hope it's good.
They are
I
good.
didn't really get into 4. Then again, I'm not on Xbox One, so I can't really talk.
I'm more of a third-person shooter than I am a first-person shooter.
I think it depends.
I can't
Really?
first-person shoot for shit.
Okay.
What is Division?
Like is what? I think the boss battle, the last boss on Insane, it goes down still. It's one of the hardest things. Was it General Ran? I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, the number 2. No, number
the
1.
first one. Where you
Oh,
shoot him with
mate,
the thing.
disgusting game.
Fucking
The boss is
ridiculous.
incredible.
It's so hard, bro.
So hard.
In more of a meta sense as well, I think Gears of War set the precedent for like the trailer as an event. Like, do you remember when that Mad World
Oh,
trailer came out?
yeah.
It was hype for that.
It's really
Then ever since, everyone's been trying to like make these haunting video game trailers of like haunting music that hype up violence. It's like, nah, it's only been done once.
Really?
Lightning in a bottle of that. That'll get everyone
The
gassed.
Dead Island trailer was alright.
Yeah.
Shame the game was.
But the shit in the game, yeah, the game was alright though if you played it with somebody else.
That's what I was
Fun.
thinking.
Nothing better than smashing a baseball bat with a zombie. I'm sorry.
In any game.
Or anyone.
Where you go from?
Okay, circles.
What?
Circles.
Cool. Have a look. I'll send you the picture. Jump out of that. What were we talking about? Who's next? This for the test.
What's yours last one?
I will pick the first game that ever made me truly cry as a grown man, which is Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1.
Wow.
What big
It's
is that?
a big
What
game.
big
It was like it was the best Telltale game ever to be made. Before they just started cranking them out
Yeah.
like, just over and over again. It feels like the one where they really sort of hit their like creative peak. There was just so much tension in the story, and when you get towards those final chapters, like the bond between Lee and Clementine is like it's just so tangible. Like you feel it whenever she's in danger. I'm like tapping in circle. I'm doing these quick time events so quickly. I'm like, you touch that girl, I'll fuck you up.
This person, this guy. I'll never
kill
forget. I
you.
think it's
And
the third chapter. Sorry, Karen.
No, go on.
No. I think it's the third chapter where I think you're trying to cross something, and some guy leaves Clementine surrounded by zombies, and he has a moment to go check, and you as Lee watch him do it, and then I think it's the moment he gets bit. I think he just gets bit after that.
It's what's his face, isn't it? What was his
Ginger
name?
dude. He dies
What's
in the
his
bell tower.
name?
shortly
Yeah, he drops
afterwards.
the game over.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't remember.
Have you played 2, 3, and 4?
No.
I just finished like a month ago the last series, and like and from the playing off 2 or 3 aren't great, and 4 probably not even that great either. But they keep that bond alive. And there's a scene in number 4. Can I spoil it? Is that right?
No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in number 4 where she'll zone out from
Yeah,
everything, and she'll have a moment, and she'll go back to the car in the train where she learns to shoot, and she'll just talk to Lee. She's like Lee, I don't know what to do. And he's like, you'll figure it out, Glenn. Do you know what I mean?
Oh. I think I cried.
And she's like, and he's like asking because she gets lumbered with a baby in season 2.
She gets knocked up.
No. She runs into this like group of people. One's pregnant. They all die, and she takes his baby on. And then in this 4th one, he's like 5, 6, and she's already taught him how to shoot a gun. You know, like all the valuable lessons. Keep your hair.
All the valuable lessons.
Keep your hair
Stay the
short.
fuck away from anything. That's the first rule number 1. Stay alive.
And yeah, just basically just whatever Lee taught her, she's taught him, and then he becomes a bit of a liability. Like he starts to kill people, not willy nilly, but like she struggles. She's only like what 15, 14 in this game, so she's like, you've got bad people are bad, but he's like, oh, if they're bad, I'll just kill them, and she's like, fuck. What is the right thing to do?
Kill him.
Yeah, like it's like it's proper deep. Like, yeah, in this train, like, and she still talks about Lee in every episode. Like, and you obviously get to pick and choose what you want to say. Like, there's the bit where she's like, "What's your story?" And she's like, "I'd rather not say about this guy." Or you could open up and say, "Oh, Lee taught me like this, that, and the other."
I always thought it was weird that she misses Lee more than she misses her own parents. We never really get mentioned.
Yeah, you never.
I think after the apocalypse, though, and the guy that's sort of guided you through that, you've got to have a strong attachment to him.
Of course, after that last scene in the first chapter where he gets him to change up to a radiator.
Did you shoot him? I shot him.
No, I told him to save the bullets.
I shot him.
There's
Taught her a lesson. Kill.
There's a.
Go for the head.
So there's a bit of a at the end of the last season, she gets bit.
And he's like,
Oh. So and then she's like, AJ, just shoot me. His name's AJ, and he's like, I can't. And then it just ends, like fades away, and you're like, fucking hell, he's just shot Clementine or whatever. And then it tricks you into thinking that she's dead, and he chops her leg off. So, like, think about it, some people are like, oh, it's a shit ending, they should have killed her. Too happy, because they just like end up in this school and they just end up happy. Depends which way you want to look at it.
Yeah, I'm a bad boy at the time.
Bit of the game.
Is it my time? Yeah.
It's your time to shine.
Special shout out to Wolf Among Us there from Telltale.
Special shout out to Wolf
Fucking sick.
Like, my mum just played that.
Charismatic as hell.
No, there's not.
No, there was gonna be
There's number 2.
There was gonna be.
Oh wait, yeah, they got shut down.
Gutted.
What? But sorry, before we go, there was when they went down like Telltale, the whole of the internet was like, we want the rest of the Walking Dead. Fuck the game, man. There were like 400 people out there, workless, jobless.
Yeah.
And they didn't even get like it's not even like, oh, maybe this might happen. It was,
we're shut.
oh, get to work, and it's like, we're shut now. You know what I mean? And then the internet's gone mad because they're not going to get the other proxy game. Nah.
Yeah, Kickstarter.
People don't understand, man, that people make these games. And then big shout out to Raising Creator, so people need to watch that.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Not pick one.
So good, we didn't do 5.
That's what I mean. We can carry on. We can do more. We can just add it all together.
Right, I'm gonna pick Catherine. Weird PS3 game. That's it. It's fucking sick. Like wildcard. It's either that or Ni no Kuni 1, and I'll go with them.
I made my miss playing Ni no Kuni 1.
It's fucking sexual game.
Unbelievable.
In fact, I'm going Ni no Kuni 1. Yeah, I've changed it. Yeah, I'm going to change it.
Yeah,
Ni no Kuni 1. I was just thinking about it. It's a JRPG, but it's artwork done by Studio Ghibli, and it's made by Level 5, who did the Dragon Quest game.
The greatest character ever in that game. I never played it, but the Scottish guy.
Oh no, you know the Welsh.
The Welsh guy.
I can't remember what he's called.
Oh, he's incredible.
But yeah, no, it's amazing. Every aspect of like fantasy it incorporates and it does it in a really cool way. I'm talking time travel, I'm talking dragons, talking magic, talking transport to a faraway world. All those stereotypical story tropes that you get with Ghibli movie, but it's just done in an expert way. Then you get these things called familiars. So you can combat yourself, but you also can capture these familiars that are kind of like Pokemon. But you'll train them up, and they'll have two separate ways you can build them. So you can level it up. It starts with one, you can level up into two separate ways. Some branch off into 3 ways. So it's completely different. It's not like one line of evolution like Pokemon, or maybe 2. And it's important to fight alongside them with yourself as well. So you'll call your familiar on the battlefield, he'll fight, you'll then sort of scurry around and do your bits as well.
But it's not like it's not turn-based,
no,
it's moving around.
You have like a... Is it like a window of time?
It's like Kingdom Hearts.
I feel like you have like a window of time, don't you?
It's like a refresh thing, so you can attack and then you
defend.
You have to wait for a little while.
Yeah, it feels like. I think you are moving around freely though, but it's just a magical game, bro.
It is nice. I heard about it from Colin Moriarty.
Yeah.
So he was like play this game, and I was like, I won't play this game. But my partner will, and she did. Like she just put some hours in.
It's amazing.
And then she played it again too.
I've not played that yet.
Done that.
Did you say it's better? Because
looking at it, no, I wouldn't say it is. Yeah. But I like the voice guy.
Cool.
Just a pleasure. Just sit there, just listening to it.
So charismatic, man. But yeah, there's probably a 1,000 more the games we're going to think of tomorrow or whenever. But we can talk about games all day, can't we? Honourable mentions. Any honourable mentions? We'll throw it in the hat.
Yeah, I mean, Red Dead 2 can get an honourable mention, because obviously it is the greatest game ever made. So.
Latest God of War, also an honourable mention.
Honourable mention. Obviously, these ones don't get said because they're kind of they're obvious and they're new and they're brand spankers in the gems.
The Warriors on PS2.
Oi! Rockstar, shout out!
Again,
Do you want to go through and Bully? Are you mad? Bully was a banger back in the day. Man had to do lessons. Man had to kick people's arse in the background. Man had to fucking get. You didn't get your fingers wet, but. Bits happened, didn't it? Bits happened in that game. It was a dangerous game, that was.
I've got two honourable mentions on the PS2.
What?
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I never played that one still.
Honestly, still one of the best Star Wars games ever. It's incredible what you can do in that game, and oh my god, you can play 2-player. There's Galactic Conquest where you can have you and your brethren. I think you can even make 3 factions, and you're basically taking over planets over the galaxy, and they're represented by colour. Whoever controls more of them, or all of them, wins. So it gets to a stage where you can have space battles. You can then land on the planets and have different powers that will impact how the ground game works there. It's just fucking sick. So good. And you have an overall level as well. So your profile will have a rank. And you'll actually naturally see that going up and shit like that. The game's sick.
And you can have space missions where you start in your ship, get in a spaceship, fly into their ship, and then fight inside their ship. And you still can't do that on the latest one.
You're mad. And
that's pretty hard.
It's ridiculous. Or destroy from the outside. On PS2.
I'm not going to mention the Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, great. Great game.
There isn't a bad Lego game.
There isn't.
Marvel one smacked it.
There's no bad ones.
Marvel ones are hard. Iron Man flying around the city.
DC ones are cool as well.
Oh my god.
I think my honourable mention, the Need for Speed Underground 1.
I like number 1. Riders on the storm.
That's it!
Till this day we're born. Oh, it's tunes.
I bought that not long ago on the PS2.
I still thought that was nice.
I played it for a bit. Oh, what a fun game!
Burnout
Paradise, man.
That Burnout game, my dad play a game. My dad don't play games.
Burnout Revenge is still my favourite, just because of the local aspect, and you can still play all those like party games with your friend, like Crash and all those things. You can do them with your brethren. Whereas Burnout Paradise can't. And Time Splitters 2, man.
Time Splitters 2, 3.
Time Splitters 2.
3?
2.
1, 2, no 3.
So it's Future Perfect.
Future Perfect.
Yeah, but 2 is the one.
Yeah, 2's bang as well. 2's a bang.
Unbelievable. It was the same team that did I want to say GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Yeah, rare.
When they disbanded and they made Free Radical.
Lego Star Wars, the original Trolls.
Path of Neo.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Both of them. Enter the Matrix and Path of the Matrix.
Enter the Matrix, I was the one I played.
I don't know. You know.
Enter the Matrix is okay. Enter the Matrix is okay.
I've got
Two-player with
both
one of the
of them,
two-player at the
yeah.
end. That's the one.
What?
In Enter the Matrix.
Oh yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
Two-player. No, it's dangerous.
No, it's fun, but
Path of Neo, I know.
Path of Neo.
Path of Neo was good.
Can you stop bullets?
Oh, I know.
I could never get past the first bit on Path of Neo.
You can Superman punch, man. You can literally do the. Really?
I need to play it. I've got it.
So
I've just
good.
never really
It might be a bit
got to
janky now.
It is janky. It's full.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
sick.
janky. It's full.
I'd still play it. But yeah, there's probably. I want to just keep naming games because there's so many. I'm trying to listen one that's going to
get in. That's what I mean.
I'm trying to think of one that's going to give the big oi reaction. But I think Path of Neo was definitely one of them. There's a game.